I want to let you know I got my brother's tripod working. And again, to my brother, I thank you. I thank you so much for the tripod. I'm going to get so much use out of this. And I'm going to start a series today. On Wednesdays, I'm going to do gardening videos on this channel because you are using your hands, you're using tools, anything using tools and getting your hands dirty and being able to be creative and everything is all what this channel's about. So stay tuned, and I'm getting ready to show you what's getting ready to happen the next few months with this space right behind me. It's not pretty right now because it's getting done with winter, and during the fall I threw a bunch of leaves from the yard in there so it could compost and everything, and plus during the fall I kind of let some of the weeds grow a little bit bigger once I get done closer to getting everything harvested, and all that to get broke up and put into the compost. It just adds to the compost. I got a bin all the way in the back where the white fencing over there is. I got a bin back there I do composting in. But over the next, especially the next couple 3 weeks, you'll be able to see this space transform into a pretty cool garden. It always starts out looking like this. I call it the blank canvas. But yeah, it don't look like much now, but stick with me and I'll show you what's going on. Right now I got these tires along here. If you ever get a chance to plant in tires, go to most of your tire places. I don't know what kind of tire places around you, but right here we got a big old tire and a tire barn and Discount Tire, and all of them will give you free tires if you go in there and just ask them, tell them it's for gardening purposes. And I may pick one up and show you how you could cut the top out of it so it makes a pretty cool raised flower bin. And what I do in those is I grow a lot of hot peppers in those and stuff. And in the front here it's pretty well hidden, but in the front here you can't see it because of the leaves. But I don't know if I can zoom in on this here or not, but right in here hopefully you can see some of that pop out of there. I got a little area where I'll uncover it and clean the weeds out, and I plant flowers in there. I like to plant flowers along in the garden also because it just helps bring healthier insects that's better for your garden, and sometimes they help fight some of the non-healthy insects by having flowers, and also planting herbs. And I like to grow rosemary and basil and thyme and different things. So, but yeah, this here is a look at the space. Again, I thought it would be cool to also throw in footage of last year's garden. It's just by good luck, I guess you would call it, that I found this footage. I thought I ended up accidentally deleting the footages, but this is the only footage I have. This is me standing on a picnic table to try and get a good view of what was going on at the time. Is when I just started getting blooms on the green beans and had started getting squash and zucchini coming on. So it wasn't full blown at this time, but since I found this footage, I thought it'd be pretty cool to show the potential that this garden's going to have this year. And those are the tires with my hot peppers in there. Right here, I'm going to start working my way down off the picnic table so I can walk through the garden and give you some close-ups of the garden. It's pretty cool that this footage was able to play out this way. I never even thought that when I made this that I would be able to present this in a future YouTube video, so that's pretty cool. And this here's a little flower bed that I was trying to uncover in the beginning footage. It'll look that nice again in a little flower pot I had some flowers in. Again, this here is the different pepper plants I had. I had everything from bell pepper, banana pepper, hot pepper, habanero, and cayenne, jalapeno, and that very last tire had ghost chilies in it. I also had a small rose bush back there. Here I'm getting ready to walk in through here. I'm going to start walking through the green beans. As you see, they're getting some blooms going on in there. Those are the zucchini and summer squash. Had the crooked neck summer squash plants growing last year. Giving you different looks of different plants and stuff in here. Different rows of the green beans. It's something I really love to do is garden. My grandfather started me gardening with him when I was younger. So I stick with it. And this here is a tomato trellis. I kind of made the tomato trellis too skinny and it kind of cramped my tomato plants last year. So this year I'm going to redo it and give my tomato plants more room. And these are sunflowers. That's a radish patch I started. More sunflowers. And that in the green cages. Here's my cucumber plants I had going. And that's a little cage. It just swallows that cage. And those are little okra plants. And an extra bell pepper I had. And this is was a trial run. It kind of wasn't successful, but that's because those cantaloupes ended up getting something called blight or wilt, and they ended up dying on me, so I didn't get to see how that would work growing cantaloupe on a trellis, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of success. And I'm going to try it again this next year. And these are my zucchini plants, or was our zucchini plants. I think in here there was a small baby one I was able to show off of a little summer squash started. It's always really cool to discover your new, especially when you start seeing the fruit come on. These here are some herbs. I just started getting into herb growing last year. Someone gave me the rosemary and I didn't even know what it was, and my mother in Texas was able to clue me in on what it was, so I also put basil and thyme next to it. And it seemed to be a pretty cool thing, so I'm going to do that again this year. But yes, this here was the garden from last year. It ended up turning out pretty nice. Sometimes you always have that hit and miss. There's always one thing or a couple things in the garden that sometimes might not turn out the way you want it. But I still continue to try and get in there and, plant, because you never know what you're going to get. And I love having the hummingbird feeders and everything, get it really nice. So this is all the type of stuff I could do this year, and I hope you stick with me.